Hey everybody, good morning. Let's see if I can get this going here. Come on. Sorry I'm late. Had something else going on. Trying to figure out something with the illegal request or whatever. So, put my monster back up here. Yeah, so all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. I might be full of crap. This presentation here, intended to be informational, educational, and fun, is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. If you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult your financial advisor. Morning, Valerie, Alan, Ed, Dan, Arthur, Suckbear, Al. Welcome, everybody. Almost to the end of the quarter. Looks like we're getting a little rally into the end of the quarter. That's hey, more than I expected. The movement during the day has just been kind of meh. And everybody in Discord's like, what does MEH stand for? It stands for meh. It's just kind of a lackluster, no enthusiasm, just kind of a drift. And that's what we've really been seeing in the market. So looking at the calendar, here we are with our final GDP. I need to refresh this because it didn't pull the numbers in yet. There we go. So we've got final quarter-over-quarter GDP coming at 2.6, a little light. We've got unemployment claims coming in at 198K, and final GDP price index quarter-over-quarter 3.9%. Yeah, morning, Patrick. Morning, Arthur. Morning. And we got natural gas storage coming up at 10. And I saw a very disturbing article that I was trying to read right before I got over here, and kind of what got me behind. So let me pull this over. I want to share this with you. Like, this is important. Like, to me, this is important. France buys 65,000 tons of liquefied natural gas from China in the first ever yuan-denominated trade. This is like the beginning of the end of the dominance of the dollar right here. Now, you could say I'm, worrying about nothing, but this is pretty major right here. This is the first one. Like, this is not going to be the last one. This is what they've been planning for. I mean, they being the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, BRICS. If you haven't heard that term before, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. They've not been happy with the dominance of the dollar and our, defense of anybody trying to do trade outside of the dollar. Now, France right here buying 65,000 tons of liquefied natural gas from China and paying for it in yuan. That's the Chinese currency. This is setting a precedence that this is okay in the world. So, they completed it. It's not like it's gonna happen. It happened. It happened, sweetheart, as the commercial says. This to me, it's starting. Like, this is the start, and China's been running around being diplomatic and smoothing the ruffled feathers around the world, doing what being diplomatic, doing what we used to do, and now we're just being crazy. And as far as the United States goes, we're just not being the world leader that we should be, and we may lose our world reserve currency. Typically, a world reserve currency hangs out for 100, up to 150 years or so, and then it goes through the downfall. That's our 100-year party might be coming to an end. So, it's a big red flag to me. Gold's probably going to accelerate higher, and the dollar's probably going to plummet as a result of this. So, if you haven't seen this, and it's not on the mainstream media in the U.S. that I know of, but I've seen so far. So that's kind of a big deal there. That natural gas thing reminded me to pull that up real quick, because I was going through that and another article on Zero Hedge about how the BRICS are finally making their move after 20 years of planning. So, yeah, not so good. Anyway, tomorrow, not a whole lot coming up. We have some core PCE and, personal spending. A few things. It could be market movers, but not major stuff. And it's the end of the quarter. Like, that's the last trading day of the quarter, last day of the month, last day of the quarter. We start the new quarter on April 1st, April Fools. And then what's going to happen next week, next month, next quarter? We're going to find out. I don't really have a big bias, except for the seasonality says that April tends to be one of the most bullish months of the year. So keep it in mind as we head into April. Right now, we're looking at the S&P, still stuck in the middle. All right, when we look at the bigger chart that I posted in Discord, let me pull that one up really quickly. Grab it off of the main channel. Right here we go. Open, pull this over. Right here, this one. We stopped right at the roadmap line. We're getting a little pop overnight. We may open up right up here. And this will, if it, being a 3-day candle, this will probably continue right on up. So on the actual S&P chart, when we go to the candle chart, we'll probably have a little gap up. If we're getting above this and this resistance right there, I have alerts set at here and here. This one was the high coming down on this last little spike. This one was the high trying to break out and got rejected hard. So we need to clear that little zone right there between that high and this high on these 3-day candles. And what that looks like over here, you got this high and this high, and we're kind of pushing above that one on the simple chart. Popping over to this chart, all sorts of alerts this morning. We've got S&P right here. We've got this high and this high right up here. So we've got to get back up through that junk right there. All right. Market opens in about 5 minutes. So we're going to see where we are. Looks like right now, with the 25-point push up, we're trying to push up through those highs we've seen on ES. Let me zoom this up for everybody. We've got the high right there. That was the high on the one coming down. This was the high right here. On ES, they were almost the same. This one came in just a tad lower. And right now, we're pushing above. If we can get the daily close up here in the clear, we're probably going to rally right back up to these highs. We break above those highs. 4,300 is the next target. I am still quite bullish. I've been bullish. If you've been coming to these, you know I'm bullish. I've had a bullish bias on the big picture. I was a little concerned we might break down, but so far holding up good. There's the parameters. Any questions? Let me know in the chat. If you're having trouble viewing the chat, I've heard a few people, make sure you're logged into YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. I do require you to be a subscriber to be able to chat. And if you're still having problems, try a different browser. I've heard iPhones have a little bit of problems, certain iPhones, and like the YouTube app on my phone works really well. And I've tried it out with a bunch of different live streams. My Google Chrome works really well. My Firefox browser works really well, and my YouTube app on my phone works really well. So if you're having trouble chatting, those are possibly some solutions. All right. Now, and remember, you do have to be a subscriber. And while you're subscribing, go ahead and hit the bell with the notifications so you know you get a notification when I go live every day. So, what is Discord? Discord is a chat program where all my members are in there chatting. So, if you're a member, if you've ever bought anything from me, you get into Discord. It's just a big chat program. It's a multimedia chat, and it's walled off. It's not like Telegram where some dude can offer, some Nigerian prince can offer you to buy all his Bitcoin for $1. That doesn't happen in Discord. It's walled off, and you can protect yourself, and privacy is key. So I use Discord because nobody bothers my members, and nobody bothers me. So there's like 300 million people on Discord, and it was designed to play games. So it's designed around doing what we do, is playing, trying to get the money from the market makers. So there's the ES plan. ES, if you're unfamiliar, S&P 500's futures. Why futures? Because they don't make gaps. Like if we look at the S&P 500 chart, it's not moving right now. it's closed for the night. But the futures keep on ticking. Like, they don't leave a bunch of gaps in here. So that's why I use futures. Tells me what's happening overnight. Now, NQ, NASDAQ futures, NQ1, pushing higher, about to break out. If we break out, we're probably going to rally right up here to 13,800 area. Where does this red box come from? Right back here, this range, from right back here in March of last year. In August, we came up, tried to get to the top, couldn't quite make it, and failed out miserably. So we do have an extra little bit of resistance right there where that little high was. So extra little bit right there. We'll probably see some sort of reaction from that area on the first attempt through. All right, be prepared for that. And Russell still lagging, but working on breaking out of the consolidation. This one can catch up very, very quickly, very quickly. This one may outperform as we go higher as it tries to catch back up. So dollar, as I said, if we break below these two lows where we got rejection a couple days ago, if we break below that, we are on a path down to the 90s. Right there. At least around 98 and probably even lower. When we get down there, we'll probably have another reaction, and then we'll see where we set up to go from there. Stuff moving today. Rumble, getting a nice little pre-market pop. Still holding a downtrend on the daily here. We need to get above these highs. You see how it rejected 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Zoom up a little bit more. Right in there. We rejected like 4 days in a row. Got to get above that stuff to go higher on Rumble. And we're still below that. So I wouldn't expect super higher. It may reject off of that one more time. I mean, we hung out there for, looks like 2 weeks over here and then rejected down. Hung out here for 4 days. Lower, couldn't quite get as high. Rejected down again. Made a higher low, so this is kind of squeezing a little bit. Intel, nice pop, getting above the resistance. This one can go on a run. And I think that was the market open, wasn't it? Yep, market open. All right. Intel can go on a run here. They got the close. There's my SP 500 alert. Breaking higher. Got to get up here above that stuff. S5FI coming up in the 30s yesterday by the close. It's going to run to the 80s more than likely. All right. AVXL, another big mover. Percent-wise, not dollar-wise. Nice little pop there, but biotech. Now, biotechs are hard to predict. They show up on my list a lot, but yeah, just be careful. And this one looks like, even though it's getting a little pop, it's probably heading lower down in here. RH. No idea what they even do. Specialty stores of some sort. Retail. EVGO. Nice pop right up to the roadmap line. Still has, I mean, look at these down, lower highs, lower highs. Lots of resistance. It's going to have to break above this little guy right here to go higher. That little rejection right there. Got to get above that. And then we can start looking higher on EVGO. SVRA, another biotech pharmaceutical thing with the downtrend cooking right there. Be careful on that one. Microsoft attempting to break up. It does have major resistance right up here at 295. Probably going to go up there and test it. And may not be today, may not be this week, maybe next week or next quarter. Next week. Probably going to work on going up there. CXM, that's a heck of a pop. Pop on earnings. Beating on the top, beating on the bottom. Looks like they've got a history of beating here. They actually made some money this time. Might be one to keep an eye on right there. Nice low price. I have no idea what they do. Package software. Might be one to consider right there, especially if they break out over this consolidation. Look right here. Put that flip point through there where it's rejected a whole bunch of times. It gets above that right there, above that 1350 area. I can go on a run. Looks like they IPO'd back here in 21 and bottomed out right here in 22. This one can be a buyout target. It's usually what happens with these lower priced ones. I don't know, let's see, market cap. $2.84 billion. There's a $2.8 billion company that hardly anybody's heard of. Crazy. Anyway. NDQ. Not even sure what that looks like, an index. I don't know. I pulled some of these off of the StockTwits, and some of these off of the biggest movers of the day. Obviously, NASDAQ getting talked about because it's popping overnight. Then HSON, yeah, just chopping around. ASML, on a path to go up here. Let's see, we'll have to move that over. Yeah, that's my target up there, around 755 on ASML. Just a market roadmap extension right there. LRCX, looking like that one can break out. It does have resistance coming through right like this. Right like that. Highs, highs, highs. Break out over that. We can go on a run in LCRX. And the high was up here around 730. You might be like, whew, what's the opportunity? Well, break out over 550. You go up to 750. That's a pretty good chunk of money. Like 50% gain on something, that cost $500. But hey, that's a lot of money flowing. SEDG looks like Head and Shoulders failed there and just chopping in the box still. So it doesn't look like this thing worked out. Just sideways. That's what I expect here. Solar Edge. Monster or MicroStrategy. I get those two in my head mixed up there. Sorry. MicroStrategy popping, probably on Bitcoin popping overnight. BTC, one exclamation point. And we were breaking out of the consolidation overnight, trying to push higher. Probably going to go up here in this 42,000 area on Bitcoin. At the very least, we'll probably see 33,000. Even if it's bearish and rolls over. That's the resistance right there. 33,000, 38,000, 45,000. With my ideal target probably somewhere in the 42 to 46-ish. The big green circle. Come on. Oval. All right. And then it'll probably come back and retest this roadmap line one more time. All right. Netflix, trying its darndest. This is basically a giant measured bounce type setup and a roadmap line bounce setup. Probably going to go up here to fill the gap at some point. This may not be till late summer that we get back up here to 500. It may not be till next year. Could be in 2024. It's on a path, though, to do that. And you might say, I don't think it can do that fast. But look back in the history. This thing has made some monster runs in a very short period of time. Like right here. Even on the back of COVID. March 20 to April 20. 1 month, we went from 291 up to 446. When I say, okay, well, how about not in COVID? Okay, over here in 2018, went from 234 to 356 in just like another month. So this thing can, in a month, go from right down here to right up here. But it may take a while, all right? I'm not going to say it is going that fast. Just be aware, all right? And we've done some amazing rips off the bottom already. It did get a nice, huge, deep retrace off of these highs that we had back here in 2021. Don't discount Netflix, all right? SMH looks like it's going to work on the next extension higher. The resistance is 275, 301, 339. That's what it's got to get above. So at the minimum, it's probably going to pop up here to 275. Netflix. NVIDIA. Got Netflix on the brain now. NVIDIA going to work on making that little extension. Consolidating there. I see the upside as more risky than the downside right now. It has not retraced significantly since December. It's just been chugging higher, chugging higher, chugging higher. That's a lot of people excited about AI. A lot of people excited about crypto coming back around. That's a lot of demand for GPUs. And eventually we're going to see a pullback in NVIDIA. This one's up like 85% year to date, I believe. So be careful, all right? Yeah, you could possibly do a synthetic, but remember, the upside risk, we're chasing maybe a $30 to $60 higher from this point, whereas the downside can be that size or a little bigger. We could retrace $70, possibly $80 back to this $200 area. So just keep your risk in check, all right? JD, that one looks like a higher low, but not awesome. And that's Chinese crap, so I'm very leery of Chinese crap. Now, one that's been moving that we talked about a few days ago, this one, Baba, breaking out yesterday. Looks like potentially going to continue the breakout. This one can rally up to this 172, possibly 217, 274. They did announce they're going to break up into 6 companies. So, Netflix, yeah. Netflix would be a possible, like, I'd very much consider that above 350. Yeah. Sorry, NVIDIA. Had NVIDIA on the brain when I was talking about it. Yeah, Netflix, target that $500 area. You want to go out, maybe the 2025 December options would be smart to do. Get lots of time. I mean, look, I'm pretty sure they have 2025, December 2025 options, which are way out here. You're telling me this thing probably is not going to hit 500 at some point before December 2025? I don't know. If the options support it, that could be a super play. I mean, talking about going from 340 up to 500. That's $160 on an option. That'd play out pretty well. Alrighty. My bias for the day, cautiously bullish, especially if we don't just reject this area once again. This is looking strong right now. If we can start moving up out of here, and we could very quickly see an accumulation of 100 points right back up to these highs. Like 100-point day, we haven't had one in a while. We could see one, or it could do another one of these 1, 2, 3 type moves. All right, we got the 1 already. We could see a 2 and 3. You know, have another 80-point day, another 80-point day, or 50-point day. So just keep in mind, we could see these go right on up here. We had one right here. Get that one right there, and then see. Oh, come on, grab the right one, and we can see this one right up there. So by Friday, we could be right back up to the highs that we saw in February. Let's go bullish. All right. Thanks for coming, everybody. Remember, I'll be live again tomorrow, 9:15 in the morning. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification with the bell thing. I don't have a fancy little, I guess they call them stinger and video lingo that points you to what to do. But do it. And we'll see you tomorrow for another Morning Monster.